Open Module 2, Indents, Tabs, and Hanging Indent. Open, and then enable editing. This exercise is just going over tabs, indenting, and hanging indent. If you were to scroll through the document, it's 5 paragraphs of the same paragraph. So the first thing we're going to do, if you notice on the far right, it's a jagged right margin because it's set for just a left paragraph margin. This would center this paragraph. But what we want to do is set all of them so that they're flush on the left and the right, which is called justified. So in order to select the entire document, Control A, that selects all 5 paragraphs. And then you could click, this is justified alignment, or Control J. And it makes it even on both the left and the right. In the first paragraph, and you can be anywhere in the paragraph, it's going to only affect this paragraph. My ruler is on. If your ruler is not on, you'll click View and choose Ruler. So if I take it off, the ruler's off, and you're going to need the ruler. So in the first paragraph, you want to indent the first line only. You could press Tab, and that would indent the first line. But if you set it and then you're typing a multi-page report, when you pressed enter and wanted to start a new paragraph, it would automatically tab it for you if you do this feature. So I'm going to click the Home tab, and you can be anywhere in the first paragraph. And in the paragraph group, there's a little box in the right-hand corner. That's your dialog box launcher. Select that. Under the special category, it's set for none. You'll click the down arrow and choose first line. The default is a 1/2 inch, which is perfect. That's what you want, a 1/2 inch, and I'm just going to scroll this over. So it's going to move this top triangle to right here, which is a 1/2 inch. There's an inch. So I'll click OK, and it moved just the first tab in a 1/2 inch. So that's one way to do it. So click anywhere in the second paragraph. And instead of going into that paragraph dialog box launcher, you could actually hover over that triangle and wait till it says first line indent, and then hold and drag. And you're dragging it to exactly the 1/2 inch marker. So the first line goes in the 1/2 inch marker. Now let's scroll down to the third paragraph. In the third paragraph, let's say you wanted all of the left margin indented a 1/2 inch. You could click up in the paragraph group, there is a button that has increase indent. And what that's going to do is it'll move all of the lines to that 1/2 inch marker. So I'm just going to click. If you ever clicked accidentally too much, you can go reverse, and that would go decrease. So if you went too far, and if you're watching, it's at the 1/2 inch marker. So now go into the fourth paragraph. Now you want that the left paragraph all indented the 1/2 inch, so I'm going to go ahead and click the increase indent. But how do you bring the right in also a 1/2 inch? So there's 2 ways you could do it. You could click Layout tab, and you can see that it's indented from the left a 1/2 inch, 0.5, and you could increase it to 0.5 here, so they match. And what you'll do when you're doing that, you'll watch this will move over here. So you could have actually taken the right margin marker and drag it from the 6.5 to 6. So I'm just going to do it and see it's moving. So I've indented both from the left and the right in the fourth paragraph. In the last paragraph, click anywhere in the last paragraph. This is called a hanging indent. And what it'll do is keep the first line at the left margin, but the other lines will be indented. So there is where you would have to hover. These are 3 different parts. The top part is the first line indent. The bottom one is the left indent, which would bring everything. And the one in the middle, where you have to hover so carefully, is called a hanging indent. And sometimes it gives you a hard time trying to locate it. There we go. That would be the hanging indent. That's a little bit tricky, so you could do it another way. If you go back to that paragraph dialog box launcher go under Special and choose Hanging. It's going to give me a little preview down here of what it's going to do, so I'll select Hanging. Notice the first line stays at the left, but the rest are indented that 1/2 inch, which is the default. But I want to show you another way, which is a lot simpler. Anywhere in this paragraph, all you do is hold the Control button and press the letter T, and it does the hanging indent for you. Now, if you were heavy on holding it down and you went too far to the inch or 1.5 inches, if you go Control Shift T, it goes backwards. So it really should only be in a 1/2 inch. So Control T, just the 1/2 inch. That's the hanging indent. So if we view this as a one page so that you can see everything, you can see that the first paragraph and the second paragraph are just indented, the first line 1/2 inch. On the third paragraph, all of that paragraph's indented, but the right remains at the right margin. The fourth paragraph is indented from both the left and the right, and then the last is hanging indent. So that's working with the ruler. Go ahead and save and submit.